To own the future, we need to do more than just see it. We need to make it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. My name is Zoya, and I'm a third-year student at the University of Ottawa in electrical engineering. I'm coming to you from my little studio apartment, like 2 seconds away from campus. And I'm here today with David George. So why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about what you do as a senior VP at your company?
Yeah, great. So nice to meet you. So my role as the SVP of Business Development at Excedo really encompasses talking to two different types of audiences. One is our partner community, which includes device manufacturers that stream video content. So companies like the Apple TVs of the world, PlayStation 5s of the world, Roku's of the world. So that's the device community. And then the other side would be the infrastructure side. So anyone who encodes a video, stores or streams a video, applies metadata to the video. And then every once in a while, the sales team will let me accompany them on trying to woo, some larger media partners in the space. So on a day-to-day, my job pretty much involves please, thank you, and I'm sorry on a regular basis.
That's great. That's great. So since you graduated from U Ottawa, I'm going to have to ask you, when did you graduate and what did you do? Just so that everyone here listening.
Sure. I graduated April 2003 from computer science.
So another question that I have for you is, now that you've been in the industry and you've seen the working people and how everything functions and how everything goes, what advice would you have given yourself back when you just had graduated, to someone like me right now, for example? I know it's a different time, but some advice still applies, right?
It's funny. One of the developers at our company, asked me to do some mentoring with him. And so we watched this video series of this great book by Patrick Lencioni called The Ideal Team Player. Mm-hmm. And in the book, it talks about 3 attributes that make an ideal team player: humble, hungry, and smart. And if you're missing 1 out of the 2, it's okay. You can kind of course correct. If you're missing 2 out of the 3, it's a bit more of an uphill battle. Maybe you should just be a professional golfer where you don't need to work with teams or whatnot. But being an ideal team player, being an employee to a co-founder, sort of back to an employee, those things don't really change over time. I've been in the work world almost 20 years now. So what applies to my mentee, still applies to me. I think the other piece of advice that I would give is, generating wealth and building businesses is one thing, because even if you fail at it, there's always another opportunity. But building a good reputation or a good name, what takes a really long time to establish a reputation can be messed up pretty quick. So I wish at 21 I would have focused more on the maintaining a good name than just worrying about making money.
And another question that I have for you is, what has been, in your 20 years of working, what has been your biggest pet peeve in the industry? What is something that ticks you off, that bothers you about people who are working around you and you just can't stand it?
So my biggest pet peeve is probably something that I'm guilty of too, because I'm in sales. We talk to so many people. And so I think when people aren't, just communicate versus connecting, right? So I feel like people don't take time to get to know someone. It's a lot of our discussions are just transactional in nature, and get what you need and move on to the next deal or something like that. But I'm sure people would argue that I'm the same way, because sometimes we only have so much time in a day to focus on a given task. So you might want to spend time with people, but you might have to cut it short, or you're just not in the right frame of mind at that particular industry event, or you're on a plane and you're just like, dude, I want to put my Bose headphones on and, not talk for the next 2 hours, stuff like that.
It was great talking to you. It was amazing. I'm happy to get to know you. And thank you for being on the show today with us.
Thank you, Zoya. It was a pleasure.